Double honors to our apostles and our elders, a great millstone, taught us the truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. We're back at it again with another class, and what we want to go into today is it's going to be more of a history lesson. I want to, for a lot of classes, I kind of like to go into, the kings of Israel and geopolitically what was going on around that time of the kings of Israel and how we can correspond to certain actions that they've done in their past, whether it was righteous or whether it was wicked. So we know how to move in these last days, because as we know, we are in a spiritual war. And whenever you read the accounts of the kings, a lot of times they were, they were going into battle, fighting different nations, fighting within themselves. You had a lot of civil war that was taking place within the nation of Israel. And just to be honest, a lot of times the civil wars that we had within ourselves was really what destroyed us. Was from the inside out. Our disobedience to Yahweh Shai, which allowed us to, go into the different captivities and, the different nations to come to take us down because of our wrongdoings. But in particular, I want to go into King Amaziah's reign. King Amaziah, he was one of the kings of Judah. His name means Yahweh is strong. All right, I'm going to say in Hebrew it's Amaziah, if I'm not mistaken, and it means Yahweh is strong, or Yahweh is mighty. All right, he ruled from 796 to roughly around 767 BC. But yeah, if we can go ahead and jump right into it. If somebody want to start at 2 Chronicles 25:1, and we'll start at it.
He said 2 Chronicles 25:1.
Come.
2 Chronicles chapter 25:1. Amaziah was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoaddan of Jerusalem.
Right, I'm gonna say Jehoaddan means Yahweh's paradise, or Yahweh's delight. You have that word Adon in there, and you got Yah, but that was his mother, and he reigned until he was 54. Go ahead.
Yeah, delight.
It says, verse 2, and he did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, but not with a perfect heart.
Right. So he did the right things when it came to going into the different nations and subduing them, but his mind wasn't perfect. His mind wasn't perfect towards Yahweh Shai, like King David. You know what I mean? But later down the line, we're going to see exactly what he did, which made his mind not be perfect towards the Lord. We're going to read here in a minute. Go ahead.
Continue on. It says, verse 3, now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, that he slew his servants that had killed the king his father.
Right. So when you go back to the previous chapter, his father, matter of fact, if you want to jump back to go to 2 Chronicles 24 and start at verse 15 and read out at verse 25.
2 Chronicles chapter 34 verse 15 says 24, verse 15. But Jehoiada waxed old and was full of days when he died, and 130 years old was he when he died, and they buried him in the city of David among the kings, because he had done good in Israel, both toward the Most High and toward his house.
Now, when you read about Jehoiada, I'm going to say Jehoiada, he was a priest during the time of Joash's reign. All right, and Joash was the father. Joash was the father of Amaziah. And a lot of kings in Israel and a lot of kings in the southern kingdom and in Judah, they had the same name. So Jehoash, excuse me. You had you had the king by the same name in the northern tribe as well. All right, go ahead.
It says, and they buried him, verse 17, Now after the death of Jehoiada came the princes of Judah and made obeisance to the king. Then the king hearkened unto them, and they left the house of Yahweh with the power of their fathers, and served groves and idols. And wrath came upon Judah and Jerusalem for this their trespass.
So they're gonna make after Jehoiada, this Jehoiada walked right inside of the Lord. That's why he actually was buried in the same sepulchre with the kings, even though he wasn't a king. You know, he was a priest. But he did everything that was right inside of the Lord. So once he died, and you had the people that came, the princes that came and bowed down to the king, you know, and made obeisance to him, right afterwards, what they do? They went and served groves and idols. You know, to start tripping. Immediately just tripping. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Continuing on.
By the way, if anybody's got precepts and points, you know, feel free.
If I may add a point, it reminds me of what happened when you read Judges after Joshua died, and the elders that were after Joshua died when we first led into the land. That's the same thing that happened to our people, man. We started worshiping each other idols.
Yep, immediately afterwards.
Continuing on in verse 18. And they left the house of the Most High, the power of their fathers, and served groves and idols, and the wrath of the Most High, and wrath came upon Judah and Jerusalem for this their trespass. Yet he sent prophets to bring them again unto the Yahweh, and they testified against them, but they would not give ear.
It's the same thing that's happening today. Alright, Yahweh Shai sends forth his men of prophets out in these last days it's pretty much a stretching arm to our people. But what was the key thing? It said that they would not give ear. You see, and the same thing happened back then. You know, our people start tripping certain idols. The Most High sent a prophet, and this particular prophet, actually, you know what? It's going to give it. I believe it's going to give that prophet's name. Go ahead.
It says, verse 20, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada, the priest, which stood above the people, and said, Thus saith Yahweh, why transgress ye the commandments of Yahweh, that ye cannot prosper? Because ye have forsaken Yahweh. He hath also forsaken you.
Because ye have forsaken the Lord, he hath also forsaken you. And it's the same thing that we see today. People forsook Yahweh and forsake his prophets, so the Most High has forsaken our people. You know, that's why people out here looking crazy and dusted off and bad now, man. And this is the same. Actually, go ahead and continue to read verse 21.
Verse 21, and they conspired against him and stoned him with stones at the commandment of the king in the court of the house of the Lord.
Right. Somebody get Matthew chapter 23, verse 35 real quick.
This is Matthew 23 and 35. It says, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed up upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar.
Right, so that's when the house was referencing this point of what took place right here. You know what I'm saying? When they stoned the prophets. You know, Zechariah came and gave them the word of the Lord, and what happened? They got mad. You know, they gnashed their teeth, and what they do is they aimed to stone them and kill them. You know? Yeah. People always have a legacy of not taking heed to the word of the prophets, and you're going to see that same legacy take place within Amaziah's. You know? You continue.
Continuing on. In
Second Chronicles.
Back in 2 Chronicles chapter 24, verse 22. It says, Thus Joash the king remembered not the kindness of Jehoiada his father, which Jehoiada his father did to him, but slew his son. And when he died, he said, Yahweh look upon it and require it.
Right, so he killed Jehoiada's he killed one of his sons, or both his sons, because Jehoiada wasn't like Joash's. Jehoiada wasn't Joash's like physical father. You know what I'm saying? He was more like a foster father in a kind of way. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of his overseer. So when Jehoiada died, which Jehoiada had the right in the eyes of the Lord, Joash killed his sons. You know, which doesn't really explain why, but he put to death his two sons. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
Verse 23.
Verse 23. And it came to pass at the end of the year that the host of Syria came up against them, and they came to Judah and Jerusalem, and destroyed all the princes of the people from among the people, and sent all the spoil of them unto the king of Damascus.
Mm-hmm.
For the army of the Syrians came with a small company of men, and the Lord Yahweh delivered a very great host into their hand, because they had forsaken Yahweh, the power of their fathers. So they executed judgment against Joash.
You see, so the Most High sent a small host of the military of the Syrians to go and subdue Judah.
Yeah.
Because they forsook Yahweh Shah by certain roads, certain idols and groves and things like that. Just as we say that, it could be a small company of men. It's going to be a small company of men that's going to take over the world in righteousness underneath the outside. You do the same thing with the heathens. As we see. He rules in the kingdom of Israel. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 29. Oh, that they were wise and that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sown them, and Yahweh had shut them up? Okay, we're just going into, this is an illustration of that. Matter of fact, when I read the scripture in 2 Chronicles, we didn't think of this one. This is going into how a small company, like you said, heathen or, Edomites or whatever, can drive away a large multitude of tapes. Just because the Most High basically withdrew his mercies from him at that time.
What did you just read?
I read Deuteronomy 32 and 30 to 20. But back in 2 Chronicles 24, and you see verse 25, yeah. Verse 25, it says, and when they were departed from him, for they left him in great diseases.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much Joash was injured in his battle.
His own servants conspired against him for the blood of the sons of Jehoiada the priest, and slew him on his bed, and he died.
Alright, so the servants of Joash killed him. He was hurt, he was wounded from the battle of the Syrians, and then he had servants they was pretty much upset about how he killed Jehoiada's sons, and so they went and killed him. Go ahead.
God. And they buried him, and they slew him upon his bed, and he died. And they buried him in the city of David, but they buried him not in the sepulchres of the kings.
Right, so they put him to death, and that was it.
Dishonorable death.
Yeah. For the things that he did. Because Jehoiada was buried with the kings of Israel, even though he wasn't the king. And then Joash, Amaziah's father, wasn't. Look at what he did. He had no reason to kill Joash. So now jumping back to 2 Chronicles 25, verse 3, now you see, that was just a backdrop of why Amaziah, killed those servants. Because they killed his father. So you can read verse 3 again.
So 2 Chronicles chapter 25, verse 3. Now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, that he slew his servants that had killed the king's father.
Mm-hmm.
But he slew not their children, but did as it is written in the law in the book of Moses, where Yahweh commanded, saying, the father shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin.
Right, you can read that in, various different precepts. Yeah, Deuteronomy 24:16, Ezekiel 18, you know what I'm saying? How Jeremiah 31 talks about how, our fathers ate the grapes, sour grapes, and how the children's teeth, are destroyed by it now, it's the same thing. Because Amaziah didn't kill their children because it's like, man, look, they didn't have nothing to do with what their fathers did. You know, he followed the law. You know, so you can continue.
Verse 5, it says, moreover, Amaziah gathered Judah together and made them captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, according to the houses of their fathers throughout all Judah and Benjamin. And he numbered them from 20 years old and above, and found them 300,000 choice men, able to go forth to war, that could handle spear and shield.
Right. So, like a question for brothers: How old were you? How old did you have to be to go to war?
20.
You said what? That's when you become a man.
20, right?
It's 20. Yeah, Numbers the first chapter. Numbers 1 and 3.
And that's also age, if I'm not mistaken, that you can go and get do like the duties of the priesthood too, right? Like certain duties, because I know like other ones you can do, if I'm not mistaken.
I have to check. Yeah, I have to check.
Yeah,
you may be right. I have to check.
Yeah. Continuing on in 2 Chronicles 25.
So Amaziah had mighty army. Just like we read in Uzziah, you know, like his son, he had a great military, he had a great army, he was very wise when it came to building different instruments of war and things like that. You know, when Jake get a mighty military, they get proud. So like they unstoppable, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
2 Chronicles 25 and 6. It says, he hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver.
Mm-hmm. So he hired, mercenaries of the northern tribe. Now, at this time, there was contention between the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. So he went to Ephraim, which, had a northern tribe, and he hired, I'd rather say, 100,000 men from the northern kingdom as mercenaries. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7, but there came a man of the Most High to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with you, for Yahweh is not with Israel, to wit, with all the children of Ephraim.
Yeah, another prophet that just came on the scene. Don't give his name. Another prophet came on the scene like, look, don't have these cats go with you. Most High ain't with these cats. You had the northern tribe that was going off at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was going in when it came to war. Go ahead.
God. It says, verse 8, but if thou wilt go, do it, be strong for the battle. The Most High shall make thee fall before the enemy, for the Most High hath power to help and to cast down.
Right. So he's letting them know, like, man, look, if you go with these men, and these men go with you, man, you're not going to make it. Because at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father has the power either to help you, or he's going to be the one that's going to destroy you. He's going to cast you. As it reads in, like you quoted earlier, the Most High, he's the one that rules in the kingdom of men. The issues of death belong unto him. It's all good. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 9, it says, and Amaziah said to the man of the Most High, but what shall we do for the 100 talents which I have given to the army of Israel? And the man of the Most High answered, Yahweh is able to give thee much more than this.
Alright, so he's worried about Amaziah, worried about the money. I just paid these cats 100 talents of silver. What am I do with that? I just gave these cats money. You know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do about that? Prophet London, no man, look, I'm on high. I give you more than this, man. Don't worry about it. Just take heed to what I'm telling you. Somebody get Deuteronomy 8 and 18.
Deuteronomy 8 and 18?
Mm-hmm.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 18. But thou shalt remember Yahweh Shemel Shai thy power, for it is he that giveth power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
Right. So at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father's that'll get you wealth and fame. You know what I'm saying? Different things in the land that you need. You know, it's ultimately up to Him. At the end of the day. You know, so you said what? Go ahead.
It's 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 7. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. Verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh's rewards, and He has set the world upon them.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, the Heavenly Father, that brings you down, He can bring you down or He can cast you up. Okay. You know, but it's just at the end of the day, it's trusting in Him. You know, and as I had His mind trusting on like the physical aspect of Him. You know, it's just easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, get somebody 100 times. You know what I'm saying?
That's bread, man.
Bread, man. 100 pounds of silver is like 7,500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of money. So he's like, dang, I could gave these guys some or something.
Right, 1.2 million.
What's supposed to do with that? I could tell him, like, hey, look, don't worry about it. He'll raise you back up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta listen to what he's saying, right? Go ahead.
If you don't mind, I had a clarification earlier I said about the Levites. I'm going to read this in Numbers chapter 8, verse 23. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, This is it that belongeth unto the Levites from 20 and 5 years old and upward shall they go to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And from the age of 50 years they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof and shall serve no more. So it's 25 to 50, not 20.
Okay. 25.
But anyway, going back to 2 Chronicles 25 and 10, it says, Then Amaziah separated them, to wit, the army that was come to him out of Ephraim, to go home again. Wherefore their anger was greatly kindled against Judah, and they returned home in great anger.
Mad in the hole, man, bro. Man. You know, they're irritated, they're mad. You know, but it's going to tell you, it's going to give you the background of what they did while it's angry. You know, go ahead.
Verse 11. And Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people and went to the valley of Salt and smote the children of Seir 10,000.
Right, so this is when he went to the he went to the valley of Salt and he did away, you know, with 10,000 Edomites out there. Now you can read about matter of fact, how you pull up the valley of Salt and Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. So there's a certain kind of David, you know, back when David smoked some people in the valley of Salt too, back in 2 Samuel.
Valley of Salt.
And you look up the valley of Salt.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody holds 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 20. Verse 20. Whatever you got signed.
This is the Valley of Salt, on Wikipedia. The Valley of Salt Pits, it's also known as, is a place where it said David smoked the Amoreans. The valley is between Judah and Edom on the south of the Dead Sea. Hence, some interpreters suggest the phrase, and he smote Edom.
Right. So, so if I say real quick, what the priest is reading there, it says, what it says, certain scholars actually state that, because somebody read 2 Samuel 8:13 real quick.
2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 13. And David gave him a name,
God, it's old English.
And David got him a name when he returned from the smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt.
The Syrians in the valley of Salt. Now, you know, when you have that word Syrians at the time, that R and that Ra and that God can be not interchangeable, but the way that it's written, it could be confusing to be Ra or Da or Da or Ra. Mm-hmm. But in this instance here, when it says he smoked the Syrians in the valley of Salt, it's really talking about Esau and those Edomites in the valley of Salt.
Mm-hmm.
Edom instead of Ram. Exactly. So read that again. So my Kabbash, read that again, but put Edom in that.
Okay. This is 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 13. And David gave him the name, and he returned from smiting of the Edomites
in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. Verse 14, and he put garrisons in Edom.
And he put garrisons in Edom. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you know that in verse 13, when it says Syrians, is really talking about Edomites. Now, after he smote them, King David put garrisons in Edom. You know, when you read 2 Samuel 8 chapter, it goes into when King David pretty much the nations that he subdued and the different garrisons that he put in the different nations.
Like I said, this garrison is a military base.
Yep.
Embassy. Or within your base, you're going to have an embassy.
Yeah.
So where outside people come, they got like a central place to come. People within that land that are inhabitants that are cool, they, make sure everything is copacetic as far as your interest.
Right, pretty much the interest of Israel is taking place, but that garrison is pretty much like that base.
Yep.
Yep.
Go ahead, Mike.
Verse 14, and he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put the garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants.
Right, and all they of Edom became David's servants. So you can just imagine at this time, through different kings coming up, Esau was in subjection under Jacob. You see what I'm saying? So, now, you can finish up reading that. It's not a long article.
It says, it is a place where it said David smote the Amorenes. The valley is between Judah and Edom on the south of the Dead Sea. Hence, some interpreters suggest the phrase, and he smote Edom instead of the Arameans in the above text. This confusion may be due to the Hebrew word Edom being similar to the word Aram. In Hebrew, the Resh and the Daleth, or the Ranadai, are very similar and easily confused if not written carefully.
We're talking about that you should not abhor the Edomite. That's, in that case, it's talking about Syria. Right. It is Aram instead of Edom.
And they tell you that right there. They tell you that the Ranadai, you know what I'm saying? The blue level was going up. They'll try to make it hella tricky. You gotta really look. If you don't really familiar with those characters, you would think either or,
It is conjectured that while David was leading his army against the Ammonites and the Amorenes,
the Syrians and the Ammonites and Syrians, what happened?
The Edomites invaded the south of Judah, and that David sent Joab and Abishai against them, who drove them back and finally subdued Edom.
Right, and that's what happened. Joab, he sent Joab down there to subdue them, but they tried to revolt. Now, if somebody gets Psalm 60, and read the title or the top of it.
Psalm 60 and 1. To the chief musicians upon Sheshinda, Miktam of David, to teach when he strove with Aramnaharaim, man, and with Aram Zabah, when Joab returned and smote of Edom in the valley of Salt 12,000.
Right. So now that Psalm 60 is in remembrance of what took place at that account. But that's out of there, it goes into that valley of Salt, meaning Edom versus Syria. You see what I'm saying? Somebody get 2 Kings 14 and 7.
I got it. 2 Kings chapter 14 verse 7.
The 2 Kings 14 is the same account as 2 Chronicles 25.
It says he slew of Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000 and took Salah by war and called the name of it Jokthethel until this day.
Right. So this is going to the account of Amaziah. It says he slew Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000 and took Salah by war. And Salah is a city within the valley of Salt, which is another name. It's pretty much another name for Petra. Because Salah means like rock. So when you go into that word Salah, King David says Salah a lot. But that it goes into like a fortified, like a refuge. If you have like a rock, it's symbolic of safety. But in this instance here, they took Salah by war, which is a city in the valley of Salt, also known as Petra, proving that in the Valley of Salt. That was Edom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He dwelt in Petra. Mm-hmm. Esau did.
2 Kings 14:7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that word Jokthel, I'm gonna say means you know, somebody before that.
What word? How you spell it?
I think Sinai got it.
Jokthel means the blessedness of the Most High, of God.
He called the blessings of the Most High.
A city in the low country of Judah named next to Lachish. The name given to the cliff, which was the stronghold of Edom by King Amaziah after capturing it, also called Salah or Petra.
In Petra, you see, what's it called? The blessings of the Most High. It was a blessing of the Most High to take down the Edomites, man. So everybody was talking about how, you know, you're not supposed to hate Esau and all this other kind of madness. Well, here it is, Amaziah, and called it the blessings of the Most High when he took down.
Yeah, subdued by the Most High.
Subdued by the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So, was Amaziah a racist, if they say? Absolutely. You know? Well, we can jump back to the second Chronicles. 25. Yeah, verse 11.
Verse 11.
Because you had, at the time also too, you know, I want to just make this quick point. You had the time where, you know, the Edomites revolted against Judah. You know, when they came out of that subjected state. You know, during the time of, I'm gonna say during the time of Jotham, if I'm not mistaken. They pretty much broke the chain off of them and tried to revolt against Judah multiple times. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was always an instance where he was fighting against those Edomites and those Hamites at the same time too.
Can I make a quick point too? Mm-hmm. On the Selah, you mentioned David mentions, or it says Selah a lot of Psalms. I just checked it. It's spelled, you know how they transliterate the Hebrew? It's two words, Selah, which is rock, which is what you said, and Salah, which is like how it's pronounced, is rest.
Oh, okay.
But it's spelled the same way in English, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's two different Hebrew words. So back in 2 Chronicles 25 and 11, it says, matter of fact, verse
you can read. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Verse 12, it says, and other 10,000 left alive did the children of Judah carry away captive, and brought them unto the top of the rock, and cast them down from the top of the rock, that they all were broken in pieces.
Yes. So he was throwing them off of mountains. He had 10,000 that he just kept captive. You know, and he was just, for his entertainment, he would just go to the top of the mountain and throw them off cliffs. You know? Because he could have easily just killed the rest of them in that war, but he was like, no, you know, we're going to save these 10,000. We're going to go to it. Just for my pleasure, man. I'm bored. I'm going to the top of the mountain and just throw them off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? He said they were broken in pieces, man. They just dashed into pieces on the rocks.
Yeah. You know how Jake just having that hearty laugh, man.
They was kicking them off. You know, imagine them just doing the Jake's rock, kicking them off the roundhouse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Seeing how they would just burst open on the bottom of the rock. You know what I'm saying? You just imagine, you know. That's how we was doing the Edomites back then, man. Like, we didn't have no mercy towards them, you know what I'm saying? We didn't want to coexist with them. Yeah. You know, we had this objection, and we were destroying those Edomites, man. Now, listen to the mindset of our forefathers. This is how our forefathers started Esau. Right? It was throwing them off the cliffs, you know what I'm saying? When they had, you know. Go ahead.
Verse 23, but the soldiers of the army which Amaziah sent back, that they should not go with him to battle, fell upon the cities of Judah from Samaria even unto Beth Horon, and smote 3,000 of them, and took much spoil.
Right, so those mercenaries that he told to go back home, that it was no need you, it's all good, but they go. You know what I'm saying? They were mad and they were angry. What they do, they on their way back, they, you know, killed 3,000. They killed 3,000 of them and took their spoil, man. You know. There's always a beef and there's always war between the northern and southern kingdom. Alright, go ahead.
Verse 14. Now it came to pass after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them and burned incense unto them.
Here we go. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? Now, here it is. He destroying the Edomites. Throwing them off a cliff, going to the valley of salt, slaughtered 10,000 of them. Throwing 10,000 of them off a cliff, completely annihilate these Edomites. And now he's going to just serve their gods. You know, take their gods, you know, and go and serve them. You know, you had King Ahaz do the same thing. You know, the Syrians and Damascus, you know, they take like the last one he came through and broke up. But on the other hand, he served their guys too. Like, man, look, these are the guys that came to subdue this, man. They must have strength and power. So we're going to serve these people. We're going to serve them. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 14.
This is our people's legacy. Constantly just going off. Serving other idols.
Mm-hmm. Constantly. So trending more better than what they already got.
Yep. Yeah, boy, probably popping in women and getting into all the years customs.
Yeah. Yep.
That woman getting the air. Fuck yeah.
Verse 15. Wherefore the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet.
He sent another prophet unto him. This random prophet, don't tell you the name. He popped up on the scene. Go ahead.
Which said unto him, Why hast thou sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thine hand?
He like, nigga, you just, yeah. He's like, bro, like, here it is. You serving, trying to strive after these guys of your enemies that couldn't even save them.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, bro? You know? Don't make no sense right there. Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
You probably like, bro, they couldn't even save, they gods couldn't even save them out of your hands. So what are you trying to serve them for? You know? It tells you what in Psalm 96, the gods of the nations are idols. You know, they have the Yahweh, the true prayer that has to you know? Go ahead.
It says, verse 16, and it came to pass, as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, Art thou made of the king's counsel?
Pretty much he asked him, like, well, so have you been made my counselor? Are you my counselor?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Forbear.
Stop.
Why shouldest thou be smitten?
Why should you get? Why should I have to kill you? Is he talking to a prophet?
Yeah.
You know, tripping.
Then the prophet forbare and said, I know that the Most High hath determined to destroy thee.
That prophet was wrong.
He gonna look, kill you.
Hey, that's how the prophets are, man. They want to get the message of the Lord, man. He said, man, look, I know the man, look. You're on the Most High time to destroy you. Determination.
I know that the Most High hath determined to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and hast not hearkened unto my counsel.
And hast not hearkened unto my counsel. Man, what's that scripture? You know that scripture Yahweh talks about?
So that it shows that the Most High gave him a way out.
Yeah.
If he had listened and repented, he might not have put him to death.
Oh, he gave him that way. That was long reached out. Like, bro, listen, bro.
Stop.
I don't know if this is the one you're looking for. This is in 2 Chronicles 36 and 15. It says, in the Lord power of their fathers.
That's a good one. That's not a good one. That's a good one.
I'll read it though. Yeah. This 2 Chronicles 36 and 15. It says, in the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up at times and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. So Lord, he basically always sent his messengers, which his messengers are his prophets. The Lord, he ain't gonna come from the heavens, from the throne, to tell Israel what they need to do. You know what happened during the time of Moses. They took off running, you know what I'm saying, when the Lord came down. For real. But I'm gonna keep reading this real quick. Verse 16 it says, But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, He despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people, so there was no remedy. So it's constant examples to where when Jay would not take heed to the word of the prophets, they would usually end up getting destroyed.
If they had smoke, either by different nations would come through and destroy it,
They would get overtaken.
you know what I'm saying? It's 2 Chronicles 20 and 20.
Okay, I'll read it still. 2 Chronicles 20 and 20, it says, and the Levites of the children of the Kohathites and of the children of the Korites stood up to praise the Lord power of Israel with a loud voice on high. And they rose up early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in the Lord your power, so shall you be established.
So shall, and you believe in the Lord your power, so shall you be established. You're going to be firmly rooted. Right?
Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper.
Believe his prophets, so shall you prosper. So, hey, the prophets we have a huge role in this thing, man. You know, as the scripture says, they don't despise you, but they really despise me. You know what I'm saying? And what did the Amazon do? He didn't believe in what that particular prophet was saying, because he didn't believe that was the counsel of the Lord.
Yep.
You know? And so it's the same way that these people think today, man. Just because they see us, you know, we're in the flesh, we got jobs, you know, we look just like them. Everybody believe what they gotta say. But our counsel comes directly from Yahweh, man. And that's the reason why these people are gonna get destroyed, man. But this is the Lord's word, this is his message.
Jay hardheaded, it's really hard to tell Jay something. Jay raised up on such a high level of pride. They hate to be corrected or told that the way that they're going is off. Yeah. That's Jay. Even us, you know, we struggle with that demon at times too. You know, when somebody coming to you with something that's going to be beneficial to the saving of your life, man, you already got your way.
You stuck your way. You're looking at him like, you know, you're looking at this man in the flesh.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what Amaziah did. He's looking at this man, this prophet. That's why he said, he's like, man, art thou made the king's counsel? Pretty much like, man, I make you my counsel?
Even that account with Moses, he seen his brethren fighting, and he would basically tell them, y'all can't be fighting each other like that, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, I don't know the account, if somebody can find him, he can get it. He was like, weren't you that slew the Egyptian? Yeah. So Jake basically says, how you gonna try to correct us? But that's Jake though, even though at that time you tell him what was right.
I got it. Yeah. This is Exodus chapter 2, verse 13. And when he went out on the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that was wrong, that did wrong, wherefore smartest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us?
Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? So Jake, they don't like the messengers of the Most High coming in the flesh to be able to give them the message from the Lord. Yeah. Our people really, they on that level of mindset to think that the Lord got to come tell them what to do. The Lord ain't telling me.
Even the Lord can't and the whole earth damn blew up, you know what I'm saying? That's when everybody was like, nah, you know what, Moses going to listen to you because they don't want to deal with that.
Who made you a judge, man?
You know, that's it. It says, intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian?
And that's Jake. Being sarcastic, just being a smart ass. When you really trying to help them.
He's some hoes.
Like, just being hoes. So you gonna kill, that's Jake probably flipping and tweaking.
You gonna kill us like you killed the Egyptian?
Like, yeah, bro, like.
He's really dry snitching.
So what?
He's really dry snitching on him.
Yeah, and at the same time too.
I'm snitching and stuff.
When he was killing the heathen. But that's Jake though, being petty. You know? It's just to try to justify bullshit too, you know?
Yeah. It says that Moses feared and said, surely this thing is wrong. So that's
Yeah.
You got a point?
No, it's just like Moses, like,
boy, here we go.
Ain't tell niggas nothing. That's what he probably was thinking. Shit.
But that prophet, man, that told Amaziah, man, he was like, man, after that answer, the Most High already determined to destroy him. Just by what you just said, I already know the counsel. You know, that's how you know the Most High is in control of everything, bro.
This is the same thing. Why the Most High gonna kill the 2/3? You know, because they see us out there on the highways and the byways pushing His word, and just the way we look and carry ourselves, and maybe brothers use rough speech. They're like, man, who the hell are these niggas telling us to get right? Yeah. And then we need to stop going off, and we gonna get put to that. Who are these niggas, man? Oh, that nigga cute, or you know. When Jake see us, they have that mindset, like, they niggas can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, aren't you the carpet?
I can tell they going doing this and doing that, man. Them dudes, yeah.
But it's crazy though, because what happened with what we're gonna read here, you know, as we continue, how he pretty much how he denied the counsel of the prophets, right? And what happened afterwards with him worshiping these different gods, it all came to fruition of him falling at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Just due to him, as Scripture says, the answer of the man's tongue come from the Lord at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? Because originally, what did he do? He started worshiping the gods of the heathen. You know? But yeah, we can continue.
Can I get a piece of it real quick? Just to end out what we were just going into, that the Lord was dealing with His prophets. Even if they don't actually give names of the prophet, that shows that the prophets were always relevant, you know, to giving that warning. This is St. Luke 1 and 7. That was one of the points. It says, as He spake by the mouth of His holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Yep. So from back then until now.
7,000 men have not bowed their foot to Baal. We don't know these men's names. We don't know that prophet's name. But that prophet was on the scene. He was right there telling them what he needed to do, what he needed to say, like what happened. You know, that was it. Yep. You know?
Hosea 6 and 5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as a lamp that goeth forth.
So like I said, the prophets of mouthpiece of heavenly Father, man, go out there and tell them your brothers proclaim their judgment, man. That's why He said, the Lord gonna kill you. Because he threw them down by His word, man. You know, and the judgment came forth His way.
Think about it with King David and Nathan. You know, like Nathan was a prophet. King David was the king. But when Nathan told him what the deal was, King David was like, yeah, he listened to him and he humbled himself. Was like, okay, this is what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? The prophets was always there to keep the kings, and the king pretty much had to submit to the prophet.
Yeah, Jeremiah just as a out, man.
You know? Yep. Isaiah.
Was that Isaiah?
Yeah, Isaiah cursed Hezekiah, but Jeremiah, he's cursing out the hell of kings. You know, Samuel, Saul, you know, same thing. Yeah, we can continue with 2 Chronicles 25.
God. 2 Chronicles 25 and 17. It says, Then Amaziah, king of Judah, took advice and sent to Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us see one another in the face.
Man, come, man. Like, he's over there. Now he's talking to the king of Israel. He's like, look, let's meet us with the squad. We need to fight. Now, when you read in 2 Kings 14, when you read about the account of Amaziah, it just tells you that he's the one to fight. You know what I'm saying? Joash. So it doesn't. But the reason why he went to fight is due to the fact that those mercenaries of the North tribe is killing 3,000 of his men. Let's meet up and settle this. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 18, And Joash, king of Israel, sent unto Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon and trode down the thistle.
Like, bro, you don't want these problems, man. Just stop. That's pretty much what he's saying. He's like, but the thing is, it's going to tell you in verse 19 why. You know what I'm saying? Why Amaziah was like proud and boasted up and saying like, man, look, we don't beat your ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 19, Thou sayest,
this is still the king of Israel speaking. This is still Joash speaking.
Thou sayest, Lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites, and thy heart lifteth thee up to boast.
And thy heart lifteth thee up to boast. When Jake in a position where they good or they win, look at I hate to bring it up to like Earl Spitz, he won the championship. Man, next week
I was just thinking that song. I was like, damn.
Of course, this is an example, you know what I'm saying? But another example, like Uzziah. When you read about King Uzziah, like I said earlier, his military might was strong. He had great inventions of war. He was taking down the different nations. He was a beast, destroying nations. And then what did he do? He tried to go into the temple and do a sacrifice. And the priest tried to tell him, like, bro, get out of here. You ain't supposed to be doing this. And Uzziah was like, man, get out the way, man. And Most High just smote him with leprosy right then and there. And he was, for the rest of his life, he was boxed up.
Got it, brother. Wow.
And he got proud. Yeah. Because of his pride, his strength, he was like, man, ain't nobody stopping me, man. So it's the same thing. What's going on in Uzziah? He got proud. And somebody get Proverbs 16:19?
I believe this is Uzziah is the following king after Amaziah.
Yeah, Uzziah is Amaziah's son.
Sure. Proverbs 16, 19?
18.
This is Proverbs 16, verse 18. It says, pride goes before destruction, and his haughty spirit before it falls.
That's the same thing we see today, man. Esau coming to that standpoint, Jake coming to that standpoint, and pride is on an all-time high. And you seen it, for example, like last night at camp, man, you seen the pride,
super pride,
man, with that country music playing, licking their chops, looking around, just bugged out eyes, just looking crazy. That was in that spirit of like blood, man. And that's that pride of this whole OU, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pride come before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall, man. And Jake is proud, man. Jake, you can't tell Jake anything without them making it seem like they know every goddamn thing, man. They don't still proud. And that was still counsel I was giving to him, like, man, look, you being proud, man. Go ahead and 2 Chronicles.
Back in 2 Chronicles chapter 2 and
25.
Excuse me, 25 and what's that?
19.
Thou sayest, lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites, and thine heart lifted thee up to boast. Abide now at home. Why shouldest thou meddle to thine hurt?
Man, stay at home, man. Why you gonna try to get yourself jacked up? You just imagine the conversation. You know how Jake is. Man, bro, stay. You got that one Jake that let's say you're outside looking in, and then you got a Jake that is calling somebody out. You know the other Jake is gonna beat his ass, and you like, bro, stop, man. You don't want just stay at home, bro. I don't want to have to do this to you. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what he's saying. Like, why you gonna meddle to your hurt, man? Why you gonna meddle to your destruction? Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got something for you real quick.
It's
a commentary in the Study Bible, as you alluded to 2 Kings 14:9, which is the same account. It says the provocation for Amaziah's challenge lay in the fact that when he had dismissed some Israelite mercenaries, which he had planned to use in the Edomite campaign, they had looted certain Judean cities on their way homeward. Proud Amaziah foolishly thought to test a battle-proven Joash, king of Israel. So, that's the point you say, you see somebody like, they're going to beat their ass, so like, why are you trying to test somebody? This dude was battle-proof. He was proven. He was known, but that pride, he got that little dub. He was on cloud 9, thinking he could take over the whole world. And
read chapter 13, verse 25.
Commentary, just a verse.
In that verse in that same book.
Alright, 2 Kings 13.
I think it's the last verse.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
And Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, took again out of the hand of Benhadad, the son of Hazael.
Now we know about Benhadad. Benhadad was going hard on Israel. He was going in.
Was that in Assyria?
He was a king of Syria.
Syria?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The son of Hazael, the cities which he had taken out of the hand of Jehoahaz, his father, by war.
Mm-hmm.
3 times did Joash beat him to recover the cities of Israel.
3 times. So like as that commentary says, when he was battle tested, he beat him 3 times. Like, man, Joash was like, bro, like, stop. We don't want these problems, bro. Like, stop, bro. And somebody like me, he's like, you can hear how Joash is saying, like, bro, it just made me laugh. But I think about it, like, I say it's little, I spit the Edomites. Like, you spit some Edomites, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't messing with it, like, okay, you ain't spit some Edomites. Okay, bro. Congratulations. You don't want these issues. You know what I'm saying? When you don't got to see. You know how Jay is, though.
The northern tribe swag.
Yeah, you're like, bro, just because you submit to Edomites, you think you're good. You know, go ahead.
This is back in 2 Chronicles 25 and verse 20. It says, "But Amaziah would not hear."
He didn't hear. And that was at the end of the day, that was still the counsel of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Go ahead.
"For it came of the Most High that he might deliver them into the hand of their enemies."
Go ahead.
Because they sought after the gods of Edom.
So at the end of the day, the Most High sent him into the hand of his enemy, which was the northern tribe, and he had Amaziah saying, cursing out the prophet, being proud, cursing out Joash, still trying to fight him, all because this is how you know how systematically dope the Most High is. And it went back to him serving those guys. Him going off serving those Edomite guys. So he had Amaziah saying these things, cursing out the prophet, trying to bug up the Joash. You know what I'm saying? But it all stemmed back to the dispensation of time and the counsel of the Lord playing out of him for what he did in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like him going off and serving other guys. You see? That's why it makes me just think, man. It makes me fear, man. Like, oh, we gotta watch our steps, man, because like anything that can happen is judgment at the end of the day for something that you've done. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It says, you see, verse 21, it says, "So Joash the king of Israel went up, and they saw one another in the face, and both he and Amaziah king of Judah, and at Beth Shemesh."
What does that word Beth Shemesh mean for you?
Bayah, Shemash. I feel like I should know Shemash.
It's house of the sun.
Okay, I know house. House of the sun.
Yes.
Like S-U-N.
Yeah, you can get it. I'm just getting it. I'm not mistaken. 2 Chronicles 25, 21. I throw a little Hebrew question out there.
House of the sun.
I throw a little Hebrew question out there.
Is it S-O-N or S-U-N?
Huh? House of the sun.
Sun, S-U-N.
Okay.
That word sun in Hebrew is what? Is it Chamash or Shamash?
Chamash.
Chamash.
That's
Chamash.
Kim or Hum from okay. Chemistry.
You know, you have these different Hebrew nations that certain had Canaan cities, house of the sun.
No, it says Shamash.
Shamash. Okay. Oh yeah, Shamash. But you know that how they worship the sun, they still kept those names of the cities. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole other lesson, a whole other topic. Go ahead.
Okay. It says, verse 22, "And Judah was put to the worst before Israel."
Judah get jacked up. Israel beating Judah down, bro.
It says, and they fled every man to his tent. And Joash, the king of Israel, took Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, at Beth Shemesh, and brought him to Jerusalem, and brake down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, 400 cubits. And he took all the gold and the silver and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Most High with Obed-Edom, and the treasures.
What is Obed-Edom?
Like God, is it like Edom, like the actual nation Edom? Servant of Edom?
Servant of Edom, that's what Obed-Edom.
Okay. Yeah. And he took all the gold that was silver, all the gold and the silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Most High with Obed-Edom, and treasures of the king's house, the hostages also, and returned to Samaria.
So he pretty much spoiled all of Judah. And he warned him, he told him, like, bro, you don't stop, bro. Like, you don't want these problems to stop. Man was out of what he did, man. He didn't hear. He got jacked up. He got jacked the hell up, man.
That's right.
Went to captivity. Shoot, northern tribe came and spoiled the temple, took the gold and silver out there, had hostages.
It's also been eaten.
Amen. You know, you ain't listen to the council, you like them to eat. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And Amaziah, the son of Jehoash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years.
Right, so that's see now this it says Amaziah's father was Joash. The king of Israel took him also was Joash. See, they had the same name, but Amaziah lived afterward. You know, after Joash died, he was still seen. I would say, like in history, like Jeroboam II or something like that was the one that actually, you know, released him from his servitude or his captivity. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Now the rest of the acts of Amaziah, first and last, behold, are they not written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel?
What chapter of Kings can you find written?
You read 2 Kings 14, right?
You read 2 Kings? There you go. Exactly. The whole 14, chapter 14. You read the same chapter. Same thing, but you know, when you read it when you read different accounts of 2 Kings 14 and 2 Chronicles, you may have more deeper detail in Chronicles than Kings, or vice versa. You may have more deeper detail in Kings than the Chronicles, but it's the same. It's different accounts from from the northern tribe and the southern tribe. You know. Oh, yeah. Say
He's saying like the gospel.
yeah. Exactly.
Verse 27, it says, Now after the time that Amaziah had turned away from following Yahweh, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent to Lachish after him and slew him there.
So he ended up dying the same way his father died.
Yeah.
They had a conspiracy against him, and they killed him. Got put to death. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 28, and they brought him upon horses and buried him with his fathers in the city of Judah.
Dang. Yeah, that was it. You know, after he got put to death, he got buried with his fathers in Judah. But at the end of the day, the whole thing is, you know, within that story, within that history, you know, it's not to buck up and be proud. You know, it's not to buck up and be proud. And the odds of being about you outside, man, because you see what the Most High can do, man. That's, bro, when I read that part there, how he served the Edomites gods after he slew them. And then the Most High had to go through all these different things with the prophet, with King Joash, all just to punish him for what he did by serving those different gods. You see what I'm saying? Most High is systematic. He is systematic with his moves. You know, but I mean that's really mainly it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to that's mainly it. See, I just wanted to go into the history with King Amaziah. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of go into a little history lesson so we can have a better understanding on certain kings and what those kings were doing at that time and how you can tie what they did in that time to today and how we can move and how we can correspond and act within the body. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and taught us His truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom. Bro, that was awesome, bro. Like, that was stupid as hell. Like, you just took over the Edomites.